Hey team, Brian Buckosh here, core design engineer with Brunswick Bowling, and I'm here today to talk to you about the newest release in the Columbia 300 lineup, the Dynamic Swing Pearl. Let's take it to the intro. Columbia 300 bowlers were a huge fan of the original swing line, so we brought that core shape back in the dynamic swing with a modified version for today's oil conditions that give you a little less diff and a little less intermediate diff for a little more usability over a wide variety of patterns in the hybrid version. Now we have that same great core shape with the same features like dot and dynamic core that increase your hitting power and that let you put any layout you want on this ball without drilling through the pin or voiding the warranty. But all now surrounded by the Dynamic Swing Pearl's ERT Pearl cover stock. You remember the ERT cover stock nameplate from such lines like the baller line, but now in this milder core shape it gives you more length through the front and a more gradual sweeping back end motion without sacrificing any punch or hitting power. This is going to make this an incredibly usable pearl that's not overly skid flip, but also still aggressive enough to tackle a wide variety of house shot conditions and tournament play on medium to medium lighter patterns. So, I know what you're waiting for. Without further delay, I'm going to take you to the hook chart and show you how this ball stacks up to the rest of the Columbia 300 lineup. This chart contains every release in the Columbia 300 lineup for an entire year. They're sorted by oil volume on the bottom, on the x-axis, from heaviest on the left to lightest on the right, and on the y-axis by motion shapes. Pay attention to these motion shape categories because angular backend is in the middle on this chart, and that best separates the asymmetric type shapes on the top from the symmetrical type shapes on the bottom. Our newest release is highlighted in yellow on the chart. I would classify the original Dynamic Swing Hybrid as an amazing benchmark ball despite being asymmetrical. Both the Dynamic Swing and the Dynamic Swing Pearl have the same moderate intermediate differential of 0.012 built into their cores, which means that they have great mid-lane security but don't jerk off the spot like you see some super strong asymmetrical balls do, and thus they continue better and don't roll so much at the back of the lane. Compared to a Dynamic Swing Hybrid, you're going to see the Dynamic Swing Pearl get an extra 3 or 4 feet of length down lane before making a more decisive move off of the friction. But because of the moderate intermediate differential, you'll see this ball continue. It's going to make an abrupt but not super sharp response to friction, and that's going to be super controllable and be super useful on patterns, especially more medium overblocked house shot patterns where typical asymmetrical pearls can be a little too over-under and a little too uncontrollable at the back part of the lane. By comparison, the command is going to see the mid lane a little stronger at a little earlier, partially because of the cover technology, but also because of the sanded finish. The command is 500 sanded before putting compound on top, whereas the Dynamic Swing Pearl is 500, 1000, 1500 before putting the compound on top. So definitely a little more length out of your Dynamic Swing Pearl. And of course, as mentioned before, because of the difference in intermediate diff, with the Dynamic Swing Pearl being a little less aggressive, you're going to see a more sweeping back-end motion. That's going to be super advantageous for higher rev or higher tilt bowlers who don't need to see the ball go dead left off of the friction. These balls also make an amazing complement to the Outlook Solid. The Outlook Solid is a very different ball, being a strong, sanded, symmetrical. It's great at reading the mid lane and smoothing out the back-end motion, but at times, it just doesn't make a big enough change of direction at the back of the lane, especially when you want to step in and open up the lane as it breaks down. I see the command or the Dynamic Swing Pearl being a perfect step down from the Outlook Solid when you want to see more launch angle with more change of direction. Of course, if all of these balls are too much for the pattern that you're bowling on, a step down to the Beast line will make a perfect complement to round out your block. That's all the information I have on this beautiful bronze addition to the swing line, available in pro shops worldwide beginning March 4th. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you share this video around. Subscribe to my YouTube and Facebook pages, Bowling Buckosh. And make sure you drop a comment below, I'm happy to respond. Check back often because I'm making new videos as new releases from the brands of Brunswick come out. So until next time, thanks for watching.